right, everybody. How we doing out there? Doc Severson and Mav with you today from Ready Set Crypto. How are we doing out there? Where's everybody coming in from? Hey, give me, I'm going to have Mav talk here a little bit. I want to make sure his volume is up. Go ahead, Mav.
Well, if you guys can see, I'm in a new location here. This is the new studio, so getting it set up right now. I won't show you anything below because it looks like I just went through a divorce. Yeah, hopefully things are coming in okay. How's everybody doing? Where are you guys coming in from? And okay, while you're at it, if you could go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get some more people in here. Let's make this a party. I got some cool picks to talk about. Doc's got some good charting to do. I think it's going to be a pretty short session today, so we shouldn't run too long. We started a little bit late here. Sorry, I was having some mic issues. But alrighty. Wow.
Wow,
all over the world.
Yeah, we got people all over the world. We got Massachusetts, Colorado, Brooklyn, Denmark, Melbourne, Germany, Melbourne, again, Belgium, South Shields, UK, Arizona. UK says hello. We have Los Angeles in the house. We have somebody from the studio. There's the UK, from Luanda, Angola, BC, Canada, West Palm Beach.
India. Wow.
South Shields, man. Peace up. All right. Luton, UK. What's up from Portlandia? Let's see. Whitley Bay. We got Namibia. And let's see. Leeds, England. All right. Welcome aboard, everybody. Myself, I am in beautiful downtown Greenville, South Carolina. We are popping out all over the place. Everything is just budding green like crazy. All the cherries are out. We got the dogwoods out. We've got the azaleas are popping. It's awesome right now. So I love this time of year.
Hopefully the crypto markets will follow.
Yeah. Hey, is Mav's mic loud enough? Do we have him turned up? Do we have him potted up enough? Let us know. We've had a little bit of audio disparity, audio inequity on Mav's behalf. So.
Oh, nice. Asheville. I was just there last weekend. Very cool town.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Audio's great. So Mav, you are on, buddy. Go get him.
All righty. So hi, everybody. We're going to, if you haven't been around before, or if you're watching this in the future, or maybe you just need a refresher, we talk about a couple picks that I'm looking at. Some tokens I think are interesting. No, we don't want the base level to go any more down. It's already low enough. We talk about some coins, some tokens, some projects that I think are pretty cool. I think are doing some really cool stuff. And I generally try to stick to a theme as to, what I'm looking at, what I think you should be looking at. And again, this is not financial advice. And more importantly, I don't have any financial stake in any of the tokens I talk about, because I want it to be very clear that this is really just my opinion, things that I think are cool, but it's not financial advice and I don't have any stake in it. So that out of the way, if you want to follow along with me, the link is in the bio below. It's got a little finger pointer pointing at it. Should be pretty easy to find. And it's part of our brand new service platform called ReadySet.Vision, all about, basically being able to see like the matrix code of the market, being able to look beyond just the market data and actually see, using the blockchain data, what's actually statistically going to be happening next, where is the market going, et cetera. So we're basically writing the book on this stuff. It's like brand new, very cool stuff. So if you want to learn about on-chain analysis, that's what we're doing. We're working with Glassnode, super cool guys, love them. But anyways, getting into the meat of today's discussion, we're going to be talking about some of the coins, some projects that are doing cool things that I think you should know about because they have some sort of release coming up or update, what have you, in the month of April 2021. So without further ado, and again, link is in the bio below if you can't quite follow along with me, screen too small or anything like that. Let's segue into talking about some projects. All right. So immediately, just want to make sure you can see this okay. But go ahead and zoom in here for you guys. Yeah, some of these projects we have talked about on the stream before. I like to bring back at least a couple that I've talked about before because I think it's a good way to just show that, hey, I'm not just throwing these things out here. I do, keep up with them. I'm, pretty invested in terms of like what's happening in the overall space. Where are things going? I like to look at big thematic macro trends of things. So, for example, Avalanche, I think, is one that as we're seeing more and more of this kind of disbursement, more smart contracts platforms kind of rising up, people kind of moving away from Ethereum, while Ethereum is still getting some issues regarding its updates and stuff like that, moving to other platforms such as Polkadot, Cardano, Avalanche, for example. I think it's the time, especially as we're getting into altcoins summer here pretty soon here, that you want to start looking for these sort of platforms that people are getting excited by to develop on and launch on. So Avalanche is definitely one of those. I think it's really cool. It's doing a lot of cool stuff with NFTs. Very cool to see. And by the way, if you're following along on the website, you'll see something that looks kind of like this guy here. So you should be able to pop these out and actually look at them. Or if you're on mobile, this is what it will look like for you. Go ahead and pop those out because if you notice, there's not enough space for all the description. And importantly, I talked about some of the events that they're going through right now. So like Elrond, for example, let's see if I can actually see this. No, I can't. Well, that's embarrassing. Okay. We're not going to do spreadsheet stuff here. Anyways, Elrond is doing April 9th, they're going to be releasing their DeFi 2.0 module, and it will be aiming to improve the important issues, mostly in the banking sector. Elrond is sort of an interoperability layer 2 kind of solution that's looking to help bridge the gap between the legacy financial system and the decentralized one. So really cool stuff. I think they're really on fire right now. They're kind of at the heart of what blockchain overall is moving in, at least in 2021. So definitely want to pay attention to. Another one that is making kind of a return, and this is probably a third time I think I've talked about Polkastarter on these streams. I think this is one of the most exciting projects I've seen out this year. And yeah, they're definitely still kind of beta. They're based off of Ethereum and they're moving to Polkadot. And that's kind of why I've included them in this one, because they are very quickly moving in that direction. They're very quickly going to be one of the hot places to basically be almost like a Uniswap on Polkadot's ecosystem. Make sure that you pay attention to what Polkastarter is doing, and a lot of these other sort of launch platforms where you're able to. It's really just a better way to do an ICO, right? Because with ICOs before, we had lots of rug pulls and developers just abandoning the projects and stuff like that. And with this is more of a Kickstarter or kind of like a series or a Reg CF kind of platform where you're able to invest in these platforms and then projects, and then they launch, and it's very exciting. And there's a lot of accountability and transparency involved. So love that kind of stuff. I think that's kind of the future of where we're seeing decentralized capital fund raising kind of stuff. So I love to see this. I think Polkastarter is a very exciting project. All right. Scale is another one I think is also doing some really cool stuff. They are currently the 9th highest crypto asset measured by its staking value, which is pretty impressive given that their market cap rank is number 136. Let's zoom over here a little bit so we can see more. I really need to fix this so we can actually see what they're doing. Well, whatever. Don't you just love like live tech issues? This is why, we're preparing this stuff like right before we go on stream. It's great. But yeah.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Oh, definitely. I think this is another one that's also pretty cool because staking is one of these hot button issues right now because there's this renewed criticism of the blockchain space right now about how much energy it's using and blah, blah, blah. It's all around proof of work, criticism of, these mining machines. And that's basically what proof of stake is aiming to solve. Also helping to make like governance and accountability a little bit more of a pressing issue. That's where Ethereum is going. They sort of led the charge on that. And that's where a lot of Ethereum's competitors have kind of picked up the pace, taken some of their market share because they were able to move faster because they weren't as big. So yeah, I think there's another really good project here in terms of its ability for dApps to be built off of it. It's focused on staking. They're doing some updates in April. Again, that's the theme for those that just tuned in or need to hear it again. That's the theme for this list today, is that these are projects that are going to be launching something interesting, an update, mainnet, etc., new products, whatever, in the month of April. So you should definitely be paying attention to them. Very cool stuff going on here. All right, this one I can actually read. Cody is going to be launching their 3.0 staking update in April, and it will be basically helping them to better secure their network and better provide the payment solutions that Cody is doing. So very cool, very much in line with, again, where I think blockchain is going overall in terms of its maturity. Crypto is just growing up. And so offering things like payment solutions, really cool to see, and to have it backed by, a very secure, very transparent network like Cody is offering, especially now that they're doing staking updates. Very cool to see. Love to see that. All right, moving along, we also have Swipe, which is a platform that is also kind of bridging the gap between the crypto and the fiat world. Seems to be another recurring theme that we're talking about today. And in particular, they're going to be launching some new stuff, including their new Swipe wallet and, some more layer 2 solutions for them. So very cool to see. I want to make sure that, it's clear that I am not invested in any of these projects. I just think they're really cool. I think they're doing really cool things. And in particular, I would like the projects that are going to be doing something that helps people get into crypto. I think that's one of the biggest opportunity areas right now. And for projects like Swipe to be working to build that bridge really between crypto and fiat, to be making it accessible for people, and to be, basically facilitating those, very important, I guess, transition period that we're going down. That's so important right now. And so, especially with them releasing new stuff in April, it's definitely one you want to be watching. I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. Superfarm is another one that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And this is a cross-chain DeFi protocol that is going to be allowing you to do things such as NFTs without any code, which I think is pretty cool, because we've seen a lot of NFT news and buzz and hype right now. But the second question people always ask after they ask, what is NFTs, is how do I make them, or how do I get into it? And for there to be a no code solution, kind of a WYSIWYG editor kind of, at least as it relates to NFTs, I think is phenomenal. So to see the industry already iterating like that, very cool. And yeah, Superfarm has definitely been burning up the charts recently. So that's also really cool to see. Again, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and it's still, I think, a very cool project, one that you should definitely be keeping at least one eye on. But moving along here, we also want to talk about Centaur, which is also doing some DeFi stuff. And on April 14th, they're going to be releasing their new automated market maker, or AMM, that helps to provide liquidity through single-side staking. That was a lot of buzzwords. That was a lot of jargon there. But basically, they're helping to facilitate the inner machinations of DeFi, the things that make the pipes work. So that is so important right now, as DeFi is still getting off the ground, is to have the ability to build and iterate in a meaningful and scalable way, because that was kind of the first problem we ran into when everything was being built off of Ethereum, for example. And we're still running into that issue today. I don't know if you've tried to transact an ERC20 recently, or just seeing the gas fees on that stuff, but it is ridiculous right now. And that's simply because it's just the network is clogged. Everybody is trying to move around, or move between chains, and it's clear that there's going to be a transition away from that to more scalable, more just better design systems that are more capable of moving in directions that I think the blockchain industry needs. It's definitely been that sort of hang up, the trifecta that Vitalik used to talk about. That's been kind of the problem that we've been trying to solve for the last couple of years. And DeFi, I think, is making meaningful strides in that. So anyways, not to digress, but I think Centaur Chain is pretty cool. Definitely one you should be checking out, especially given their updates mid-April. The last one I want to talk about is Stater, which is going to be around having lending as it relates to NFTs, in particular, allowing you to leverage your assets while still maintaining ownership. This is something that we've seen with other lending platforms such as like Celsius or BlockFi. You know, the ability to put up your crypto as collateral and then, you know, receive dividends on that, et cetera. So now to be able to do that on a NFT is, I think, phenomenal. I think that's exactly where we need to see tokenized ownership go in terms of its ability to be lended out and for you to be able to receive, you know, collateral payments for putting that up. So very cool to see. It's still kind of like framework. It's still, it doesn't even have a market cap rank on CoinGecko, but they are making partnerships and, you know, meaningful strides, such as their recent partnership with Polygon, who's, you know, we've talked about them like at least twice on these streams. So very high regard project there. So yeah, I think there's a lot to like. And something else I want to talk about before we go talk about the charts is one feature I haven't mentioned before when I talk about how I find some of these projects, which is using a site called Token Sniffer is one of my favorites. And so you can see, you know, Super Farm is on here. Let's see, there's another one. I was checking out Rally earlier. That's another cool one. I just didn't have time to put it on the list. So check that out. But what's cool is if you dig into any of these, you actually click on them. They do what's known as a smell test. Here, let me zoom in for you guys. And they're doing an automated contract audit. And importantly, this isn't like the end all be all. This is not saying that Rally is a scam because it didn't meet all three of these check marks, you know, anything like that. But it is a good way for you to just see like, hey, is the contract source verified? It looks like they don't have any prior token contracts, but they don't have a proxy contract. Again, this is just little things that help you get a better sense of, so, you know, who are these people that are developing this project? What can I learn about them? You know, what is going on here? You know, just digging in. And so I thought that was something interesting to share if you hadn't seen a feature like that before. So anyways, hope that was a little bit insightful. Hope you learned some things. Again, the project spreadsheet that you can get for free is down in the bio below. So go check that out. Go dig into some of the information I put on there. And while you're there, definitely sign up for free for ReadySet.vision, our brand new service where we post some of this stuff, as well as check out some of the other links in the bio, you know, such as our 10X Tribe, which is more dedicated to stock trading. But that's where Doc will teach you how to effectively trade stocks and options in a way that will help you make just recurring income from the stock market. So lots of really cool ways to you know, be a solo capitalist in today's society. And we're here to help you facilitate and, you know, be educated on that. So anyways, before we dig into some of the QA, let's talk about what's going on in the markets right now. Where is Bitcoin going? It seems to be, you know, trying to punch through several key resistance levels here, but what's going to happen next? What's the charts telling us, Doc?
Before we get to that, man, have you checked into Chonk?
Have I checked Chonk?
Yeah, I love the name of that. It's like, is that a derivative of Dogecoin or something like that? I got to get me some Chonk.
Oh, boy.
What a great project name.
No, it's actually after a cat. It's up.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah, it's up 113% today. So I would be careful with that one.
Chonk is up.
You can check it out at chonker.finance.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's about NFTs. So just another NFT platform. But yeah.
Well, has everybody noticed that you were able to read Mav's spreadsheet? We're actually broadcasting in 1080p now. We've gotten into the mid 2000s and we're now broadcasting 1080p in high definition. So we made that change for you guys. Hope it makes a little bit of difference. So you can see the highlights of Mav's hair and you can count the whiskers in mine. So, all right. Shall we look at some charts? What do you think? Let's take a look here. All right. So Mav, nobody can see you. So what I'm looking at here is just a chart of BTC versus the US dollar. And what I am seeing with this guy right now is I'm looking for just the lower highs and lower lows. Now we've rallied up off the bottom here, off of 50,000 up to 60,000. It's a hell of a move in a week, but this is still the overhead resistance right now. So consider this to be overhead supply for right now. I want to see this thing break through there, and it's going to have to do so with volume. There's just no volume to break through there right now. So unless there is absolutely no disagreement in price and this thing just sort of melts through there, I'm expecting to see this maybe just pull down one more time. This may be the last shot that we get on board. I thought we were going to make a stab at this trend line, but that was not to be. That was what we talked about last week. So right now, any low that you see from here, I think is going to be the last shot before this thing breaks above 60,000. All right, so that's BTC versus US dollar. Ethereum looks fantastic today, minus the volume. I don't know where the hell the volume is these days. We're just not getting the breakout volume like we did before, and that would make me feel a lot better. See, what's happened here is that big, massive volume to break this thing above 800, and then since then it's been tailing off, which is pretty much what you see from a consolidation pattern. But this is just a big open-ended symmetrical triangle, and we are now breaking above the last high. So that's a really good sign. And there's a fair amount of energy on the daily chart. If we go out to the weekly chart, we can see this better. Huge amount of energy setting up for Ethereum. So this could be a halfway house on the next move up. So what I mean by this, and I'll refer to this a few times today, if you get the initial swing, then you get the consolidation. It acts as kind of a halfway house for the next swing. So you can project what the distance was here. It was about 1,200 points. So maybe the next move on this thing is going to bring us up to about 2,800. That will be a great target for the next swing if the monthly chart will allow that to happen. You can also see from this one, we've been targeting somewhere around the mid-2000s on this one, just with this huge basing pattern, the breakout of this huge basing pattern. This doesn't really look like a cup with handle to me. It's just a big, and the upside target to this is really the distance between the neckline to the bottom of the pattern. So these guys look really, really good. Even Polkadot looks tremendous lately. So we're seeing this same deal here. We're in a big horizontal consolidation. This marks the halfway house to the next break. So draw your lines on there. Polkadot, if it's able to break above 40 on good volume, I want to see strong volume on the breakout from there. We've got a shot at attacking on probably another 20 to 30 points onto Polkadot. Okay. So I'm not going to go through all of the top 20 here. I just want to bring up some of the ones that I've seen here. Again, Tron, believe it or not, like what the hell's going on with Tron here? But what we do is we look at this for an ascending triangle pattern, which is showing nicely on Tron. What we do is we measure the open end of that, and then the measured move is to the upside. Boom. One day we hit the measured move on Tron up to about 9.5 cents. Get some now, right before it blows up. So not much else to really look at here. There are a couple that we have like Neo. I like the look on Neo right now. So Neo, one of our old friends from 2018, is breaking above 47.50. That one looks pretty good. So if you guys have any other ones you want me to take a look at, as long as they're listed, I can certainly look at this, and as long as TradingView can bring it up. I think somebody was asking about ADA. So let's look at Cardano. And this is just a big weekly consolidation pattern here. Remember, guys, you can't run up the side of Mount Everest, right? You can't just sit there and run right up Mount Everest. You're going to go as far as you can, and then you're going to consolidate. You're going to go as far as you can and then consolidate. This is how markets move. This is how everything in life moves like that. And so we're just trying to go between range expansion, range contraction. Cardano looks pretty good at this point and building up a lot of energy on the weekly chart. So this one should be ready to go in another week or two here. Look for a break above 1.3 on Cardano. Oh, okay. So a couple other ones here. Binance Coin looks really good on this breakout. So break above 320. This thing is free and clear, and this thing has done its work. It's done its work in the consolidation zone in this area. So this one's ready to break as well too. Let's see. What else do we have here? Ripple, Litecoin. Let's look at Litecoin here. Litecoin, this is a weekly pattern, weekly consolidation, like everything else, it's building up a lot of energy. So it's going to just sit in this pattern until it's like winding a spring, right? It's like winding a spring up tighter and tighter and tighter until you cannot stick any more potential energy into that spring. It's going to transfer into kinetic energy and explode from there. So look for range expansion, range contraction zones for anything. It doesn't matter whether it's crypto, stocks, it could be Forex, could be anything. They all run in the same price patterns no matter what you're looking at. Let's see. Let me look at two more here. I'll look at two more, and then we'll throw it back open for any other questions. So algo. Let's look at algo. This looks really good. This is a weekly chart. So this one is breaking out nicely and built up a lot of energy. Now, I want to see more volume than this on the breakout above 1.4. And let's see, Engine Coin versus BTC. This is one of the ones that we look at. So guys, I could do this all day long, but we want to keep this short and tight for you. So I like this consolidation, but it's going to break about 4,700 sats in there and you're good to go. Break about 4,700 sats. All you want to do, just do a right click, right? Just do right click and add alert to your chart and then write yourself a note and then give it a name and then write yourself a message and say, this coin is breaking above, and tell yourself what to do. So you don't have to sit around and wait and watch this stuff all day long. Set yourself alerts, email yourself if you want to take the breakout. And that's the way you can do this. Okay. All right. We're going to move it back to, look out, Mav. We're coming back to you.
I do want to say that Engine is a good one to be asking about right now, because on April 6th, they're going to be releasing their, what do they call it? JumpNet, which is going to help them build it's basically a bridge network to let them do on-chain transactions. Engine, for those who don't know, is also an NFT platform. So that's probably why we're seeing the movement that we're seeing right now on Engine, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Lots of questions. All right. Let's do rapid fire in this, and then we'll probably wrap things up not too long here. ICX or Icon. Man, I had so many people, so much vitriol when I called that my top one of 2018, way back when. I was very convinced on that one as relates to the future of it. And everybody just, wanted to lay criticism on me for seeing potential in that one. And yeah, it didn't do much in the last couple of years. At least it didn't seem like it. But now it's come back with a vengeance. It's one of those ones that people are consistently talking about. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna toot my own horn on that one. I think that's definitely one I'd like to watch continue to grow up, because it's doing things that I think are really relevant today. So definitely seal of approval on that one. Matic, we've talked about a lot on these streams. They're rebranding to Polygon. Lots of really cool stuff there. Anything to do with interoperability. They're basically trying to be the Polkadot on Ethereum. So lots to like there. I think interoperability, scalability is definitely still at the heart of what blockchain is trying to solve right now. And the projects that can help push that along in a meaningful way, I think, are going to have very high upside potential. So very cool on that. There was a question earlier, and Doc, I kind of want to throw this one to you as well, about like some of these projects that I just mentioned are kind of like in the 40s or 50s, pretty big market cap, still not, in the top 10, obviously, but they've definitely, accumulated. They've definitely, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of upside potential separating them from, breaking into the top 10. And then at that point, what's the point of holding on to them? I guess is the rationale. So the question was specifically like, Elrond is number 49. Is that one worth picking up, or is it too late for something like that? What's your take on that?
What's the ticker in that one again?
I think that was what you got? EGLD. Okay.
You want me to look at this versus BTC, like a Binance or something like that?
Sure.
Okay. Let me flip this one over to, let's see, where is this thing? Yeah, it's over here. Okay, so this is EGLD versus Bitcoin. And so again, guys, when you're trading something with a reference currency on Bitcoin, The problem here is that you're fighting against a rising tide, right? So if you've got BTC going up, then whatever coin that you're trading against has to go up even more than your reference currency. This is why everybody's given Bitcoin such a hard time about being a true currency, because it's more of a speculative asset right now. So with something like this, what you want to do is you want to look at, it's in a big consolidation. It had a big pump while Bitcoin was also going higher, but right now it's in consolidation. So what you want to do is look for these levels like this, or descending pattern here, and wait for the break. Look for the volume. The volume will tell you that what you're doing is the right thing. If you chase after the volume here, volume will always will confirm what you think is going on. So if it's breaking out, but there's no volume sitting on something like this, then probably it's going to get hauled back in. It's going to be a false breakout. But this one, like for EGLD versus Bitcoin, if you want to wait for a break above 2,800 sats, that would be a place to come in and you can see whether the volume is there or not. That's what I like to do. I don't like to just randomly throw myself into things. I look for an edge. I want to get into things that are moving higher in price, right? I like to get into things that are moving higher in price and not necessarily trying to buy the dip, right? That's been driven into everybody. I'm a little bit different like that. I like to chase after assets or put myself into assets that are actually going higher in price.
Well said. Well said. Let's see.
The Harmony coin, that one's been, which one is that? I forget the ticker on that one. Let me see if I can find it. That one's been, I brought that up lately in the newsletter, and that one's been doing great. I think it's ONE.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to bring this one back up again here just for that. This is one of my favorite patterns because this is a daily consolidation pattern, very high and tight. This is what I call a high and tight consolidation. When you have a big flagpole like this, and then it just it's going between 16 to 21 cents. It's working in a 5-cent range. This thing is building up a tremendous amount of energy at this point, and we're almost there on the weekly chart as well. Well, we're a little behind. We might want to sit there for another couple of weeks or so on this one, but this is going to be a great break above, say, like 21 cents. And remember what I talked about here. Again, think of this structure. When you see a big consolidation like that, think that this is the first leg up, the second leg up. This is going to be about halfway to the next leg up. So just think of this as sort of like elevators. So like first floor, it's going to pause at first floor for the people to get off, new people to get on, and then boom, it's going to take off again and go to the second floor. And this is how markets move when they're in linear like this. They stair step like this. So this is a great place to accumulate. You can wait for the breakout. There's no guarantees that it will break out. If you want to be a little bit more sure about things, you can just wait for the breakout on good volume.
So the question about do we look at ICOs is a good one, but I think it's also a little bit misguided in 2021, and I want to help you. So if you're serious about making money in the markets right now and you're okay with a little bit of risk, first off, if you're an Omnia member, go back to the March 22nd Omnia newsletter where I talk about how to find the next 100x token or coin or whatever. But for those who aren't Omnia members, I'll give you a little bit of inside scoop here. What you want to be looking for are the tokens that are, kind of burning up the charts or have the potential to do that on those sorts of platforms like Uniswap, 1inch, HoneySwap, PancakeSwap. Those are where you're going to find some really interesting projects. That's where you're going to find those moonshots before they really take off. And those those platforms are just, they're really coming a long way. So there's a lot of features being built out of them. That's where a lot of the energy is right now. They're sort of the heart of DeFi right now. Love them. But if you really also want to take things to the next level, if you're a veteran of this game and you're okay with, some technical know-how and some risk, I'd also highly recommend you check out what are called launchpads. So I was just talking earlier in the stream about PokeStarter, which is doing initial DEX offerings or IDOs. Great place to start this foray into launchpads. I think they're one of the best right now. Some of the other ones I would definitely recommend are YFDI. That is a little bit more, I don't know, I've only just checked it out. I haven't really gone into it as much, but it definitely has some interesting features, it seems. And then TrustSwap is another one that I'd recommend you check out. These are where you're going to see projects that are launching in a secure, transparent way. I think there's a lot to like about this direction that the industry is going, because the ICO is just it's a broken model fundamentally. You know, it's cool that we can make money off of it, but there are way too many places where we can lose money off of it as well. So I think in this day and age, that's where your attention needs to be, generally focused if you are serious about speculative risk on investments. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, let's take a couple more questions here before we get off. There was a question about Omni, or there's an insinuation that I wouldn't look at it. Well, I've mentioned it, so we can move on. No, kidding. Omni is, it's called Economy. They're an NFT marketplace, and they've gone up 500% in the last 30 days. So good for them, breaking in the top 50, just kind of like hockey stick growth. That's really cool to see. But at the same time, NFTs are definitely a bubble. Any project that I see go up 500% in 30 days is the definition of a bubble. I don't care how good it is. It's going to correct. Maybe it will stick around in the top 100. Cool. But I wouldn't touch that. I'd wait for it to cool off a little bit and, show some ability to stick around, because again, NFT marketplaces, they're becoming a dime a dozen right now. So we're definitely going to see some form of corrective measure when they're not the hot topic of the month, the flavor of the month anymore. So just be careful with that kind of stuff. That's not to say that NFTs are a bad investment right now or anything like that. There's a lot of potential to them, a lot of cool stuff going on, but just be careful. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Yeah, TrustSwap, great project. Cool. Awesome. Is KSM a bubble?
I would say it's a bubble. It looks like it's a really nice looking chart, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the Kraken chart on KSM versus the US dollar. That looks really good. Kraken, we got Bitfinex, looks about the same. Not a whole lot of volume on it, but I like the chart. It's grinding higher, and it's showing a lot of nice linear movement.
Cool. All right. Well, we can dig into projects all day, but yeah, it becomes pretty slow show once we start doing that. So I think this might be a good time for us to jump off. But before we do, just want to mention that we've got some cool links in the bio below. So again, if you're just tuning in or you didn't quite hear the spreadsheet that I talked about earlier about the 9 projects that are doing something interesting in April that I definitely think you should check out, definitely keep your eyes on. In the bio below, it's got a finger next to it, as well as join some of our free communities, such as our Discord, free to get on. That's where we have, just lots of high quality discussion, no shilling allowed. It's just straight, good, awesome. I love our Discord. It's so good, but we keep it very clean. So I ask that if you come on there, that you respect the community and, you're willing to have high quality discussion with high quality individuals, be part of a high quality community. So, as well as Doc runs the 10X Tribe, which is all about helping you to become a better trader through trading education centered around the stock market. But you can easily take what you learn from there and apply it to the crypto markets as well. If you'd also like to learn more about how to trade the crypto markets, such as how to do crypto options, for example, Doc has some great classes on our website, readysetcrypto.com. I know it sounds like I'm going through a laundry list of here's all these great endorsements or, things, but we built all this stuff.
We have a massive amount of information. Yeah. It's almost a little bit overwhelming, actually, because we've been doing this every single day now with Ready Set Crypto for 3 years, and it tends to build up a lot of information. So we try to keep things simple. We try to keep things on point. We cover things that nobody else does, which is around the mindset of trading and mindset of success. We do that with everything that we do.
Yep.
And we just like to be very principled about things. And, you know, this is not that difficult of a business. We tend to make it very difficult on ourselves because we're a bunch of monkeys, right? We're just jumping all over the place. We're looking for things that are moving. And what I want you guys to do is to start getting patient, sit in the corner and wait till somebody throws money on the ground and go pick it up. That's what the business is really all about.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Yeah, so we do this because, you know, we want to provide high quality education, and we don't take any payments for, you know, endorsement. We don't shill projects. We've never taken money to do that. We just value your opinion of us too highly for that. So no, I'm kidding. But it is important.
I don't, but I mean.
Anyways, guys.
All right. Thanks,
really
everybody.
Appreciate you hanging out with us. And yeah, it's time to probably turn it off once the giggles come out. But guys, I hope you're having a great week. We're definitely getting into the interesting part of the year. April has definitely historically been one of the best months out of the year for Bitcoin. So it's going to come. We're going to see 100K Bitcoin here. I don't know when, but it's coming. So don't let the anyone get you down, and don't let anyone tell you that you're in the wrong space or you're believing the wrong things, because you're exactly where you need to be. And I appreciate you spending some time with us to talk about it. So anyways, guys, have a great one. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
All right. Cheers and beers, everybody. Be good.
Cheers. Thanks.
Whew.